Well, our reporter Hope Webb is here now. Hope, before we take a step back and look at the broader picture of what COVID has left in its wake, was there anything around schools that we heard from the First Minister today?
Yeah, so the First Minister was in the chamber today and she did say that she expected the removal of the legal requirement of face masks to apply in school setting, and we do now have confirmation from the Scottish Government that that will be the case. However, the use of face coverings in communal areas for staff and secondary school pupils will still be guidance. So that, of course, will bring it into line with the likes of shops and public transport, for example.
Is under currently.
Yeah, so we've been hearing a little bit about it, and I'm trying to speak to a number of health boards really today about the lengths that they're having to go to keep safe staffing levels and to make sure that that patient care is where it needs to be at this difficult time. Now, it comes after I was able to see an email that was circulated to nursing staff within NHS 5. That was alerting them to the fact that non-clinical staff are to be drafted in the coming days and weeks to support those on hospital wards. Now, non-clinical staff in this case, NHS 5 have told me, is relating to the staff in the finance department, staff in HR department, as well as those in recruitment and training. So people you would not expect to see on a hospital ward. Now, in a statement from the Health Board, a spokesperson did say that those workers will be used in admin roles as well as patient-facing support activities.
Right. So what does that mean then?
Yeah. So that's quite a broad statement, but in reality, that means it's supporting patients and their families. It means preparing wards for the income of patients and the discharge of patients, and serving meals to patients, essentially. Now, I wanted to try and determine whether this was the case across some of the other health boards across Scotland, and I did hear back from a number of them. Now, it seems like this move is either one that they are considering or they've enacted already. Now, I have a list of them in front of me, which I'll refer to. NHS Highland says for the first time in the pandemic, some of its non-clinical staff have recently taken on extra hours or entirely different roles in order to support care. NHS Lanarkshire has been forced to bring in extra clerical and admin staff to hospital wards. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde says it does have contingency plans for similar arrangements, but says that pressures haven't yet reached that point, and that is also the case for NHS Lothian and NHS Borders.
And Hope, the stories like these are just, examples of, I suppose, a health service that is under severe pressure, and some of the stories that we've been hearing in the last week and 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. And new figures, released in the last few days show the number of people having long waits in A&E is at the highest levels on record for the second week in a row. Now, just to remind you, the Scottish Government target for A&E is 4 hours for people to be seen and discharged. But the latest facts show that over 8,500 people across Scotland are not falling within that target. And worryingly, a record 1,000 people have waited over 12 hours in A&E. And just really for context, today the number of people recorded in hospital with COVID is 2,344. That is 39 fewer people than yesterday, but yesterday's figure was the highest it's been since the start of the pandemic.
OK, we'll leave it there. Hope Webb, thanks indeed for that.
Well, listening to that and joining us now is Michael McCurdy.